Hi, my friends, and happy New Year Day, if possible, to all of y'all. And today I got the touchy and pertinent topic of humans rule over the earth, their bodies and souls themselves. If so, then prove it. Yeah, they say you're the crown of creation, but you gotta know where to go. If you are the crown of creation, then why let parasites rule? Humans rule? Prove it. Oh, where have I been? I had to give myself a present on my B-day. I went down south, down Highway 1, to Big Sur for a minute. Ugh. So that's another story. So if humans are really the top of the food chain on planet Earth, why aren't they creative, peaceful, respectful, oneness conscious, aware? Why are they full of negativity and such losers? Maybe because they were designed to be food for our master, Lucifer. Happy birthday, sunshine. It's El God's ultimatum in 2024. That's right. This is the number one issue we're going to all have to face planetarily, and that's, guess what? Human freedom and slavery, and the idea that humans have the rightful rulership over their body and this planet. And David James Rodriguez, every Saturday, he would usually say at the voluntarist meeting and bonfire, who owns your body? Who's the rightful ruler over your body? You are, right? So, but not in God's book, not in God's mind. In the Bible, it is said that we were made in the image of God and placed here to cultivate the earth, to build up God's kingdom and rule over the earth, as humans are the highest level of awareness, or the top dogs in the food chain, or the DNA, highest level of DNA in nature. We were made in His image. And placed here in dominion over all humans. And of course, soon after, the Anunnaki, or the junior gods I call them, they gave us the wonderful art of cattle, what's called animal husbandry, or tending to cows and goats, and then taught them how to steal their milk, and gave us those wonderful health drinks and raw milk. And so it started off, El wanted us to prosper and be plentiful and be fruitful and multiply, it says in the Bible. But that was only until it built up enough source of energy and blood. We are obviously way smarter than all of the other animals. I mean, we can reason. We have the ability to think, to create, to make inventions. We have opposable thumbs. We can make inventions, write and sing songs. We can conquer and take all of Gaia's resources for ourselves. That's what the resources are for. This planet is for us to plunder. We are the rightful owners of this planet, and it doesn't matter if we eat GMO, because guess what, man? This planet is just our stuff. We conquer and take all of Gaia's resources for ourselves, for our fragile little egos and our narcissistic predator complex that Lucifer wired into us so perfectly. We can run endless wars and create industries that will pollute the entire planet rapidly into another cold ice age with our great geoengineering tech. And God, El, Saturn, or Lucifer, or Yahweh, is the sun. No, it is the God with the gumption to get Bill Gates and Lockheed and all these other people to put billions of dollars in U.S. taxpayer money into blocking the sun in the wintertime, pretending it's a storm season thing. No, if it was normal storms, you'd see the sun pass through. Well, with this great amount of weather weaponry technology they have and all the money pumped into it, they could do what they did last year and keep the sky white like this for 3 months because Bill Gates controls the weather. Yes, and guess what? Yes, the atmospheric rivers, yes, they want us sick, of course, because then they can make more money with big pharma and the sick hospital system when we need their poisons or falling over dying. We got this way through, it's obviously a kill 'em and bill 'em scheme like so many of them. We got this way through our often strictly blind obedience to our extremely bloodthirsty off-planet ET pseudo-god, Lucifer, Yahweh, or the Elohim, over the course of millions of years. It took a long time. It took a lot of torture. It took a lot of Stockholm Syndrome, victims, a lot of soldiers to get to this point where it's at now. So, actually, before the misogynist, male, patriarchal junior gods arrived on this planet, the original human Namulu Christ race had existed for probably millions of years in a respectful, peaceful culture. It was a matriarchy. It was designed with equanimity, with equal respect and love for all, for real. It wasn't this God is love. Now kill yourself for God. It was Goddess is love. You're free to do whatever you want, if you do not harm anyone else or their stuff. That's the rule. That's the cosmic law. That's why the divine Christ beings and Lucifer and their filthy minions have to hide. They cannot interfere with your free will without overtly breaking the number one rule of the reality we're in. God the Fathers, who unplug most of our DNA to dumb us down, to try to make us into slaves, then programmed us with their sick, twisted minds of dominion and sick, narcissistic takeover plans. They used torture, wars, and blood sacrifice, coercion through generational and cultic gaslighting to create the Jewish secret anti-life customs, and through Stockholm Syndrome created the myopic, sick world of, through the Saturn Moon matrix of perpetual slavery, and all in the image of the mind of the god El, the Elohim gods, who took their chosen ones, engineered to become our landlords, priests, generals and wardens. And this is why they seem often to be so neurotic, because they have the respectful divine human race mixed with this intruder race that has to take everything or have control over everything. Other races that are not the chosen are cattle, or goyim is the word they use. It means you are a cattle. And why would God, the God of the Jews, teach the Jews this? Because he's not the original creator of the human race. It's inky. Consider the analogy of diet. Okay, when you eat, say, a standard American diet, if you eat steaks, that would be like what these ETs would be like. Think of us as meat, or eat steaks. If you were a vegan, that would be like what they want you to be like cattle, like someone who's weak, who will only eat grass, who doesn't have the strength to rise up and to stop it because they're too frail. And my diet is mostly what you could call pescatarian, which I think is more like the natural human diet, where you eat the animal products that are more healthy for you, that don't harm animals. We were made by God. And Klaus Schwab says in the Agenda 2030, you'll eat crickets and be happy. Now, what does that mean? He thinks you're the chickens, right? You're his chickens to eat. We were made by God to be energy slaves and cattle. We are so royal, we forgot to have any reverence for decades and centuries. I wonder why. We have to clear God out, actually. We have to clear the ability of these beings to block out the sun, to block out your ability to understand the divine Christ within, and that's only through the shadow work. No one can do that for you. You have to do it harmlessly. Don't hurt anyone else, but don't let God block your relationship to the real creator, because that's what's happened for millions of years, and time to work on that. If 2020 was their attempt to take the entire planet and it actually worked with over half the population, what is next? After Lahaina this year, over 2,000 children disappearing in that disaster, and Hamas, what are the next battles in World War III? Aside from the continued attrition and taking away of legal protections in different districts where that's a possibility, we may just see the second coming of God, as Cliff High has been warning people of, the Elohim, Lucifer, Yahweh, Enki, or whatever name you give them. They will come back to rule over us, all the planet, in their perfect love, which will remove our free wills, even our dreams and choices, more perfectly than we can imagine, because that's what God's about, for real. Too bad God is loveless and loves to sacrifice and eat humans and their souls permanently if he could. Perhaps 2024 is when human beings will be tested by circumstances designed to prove the statement. Humans are the crown of creation. They are in charge of earth. They are made in the image of the divine creator. If that is true, guess what? That is true. But it was a fact long before our war gods built their violent, inverted, source liar teas, societies, inverted world of the Babylonian matrix sucking system. The process of awakening and ascension is often a lot more like sculpture than building from scratch. Okay? My friend Jonathan C. Wise told me when we were 20 years old, healing is a peeling of the layers of dung the devil put in your mind. Peel the layers of dung out of your mind. The divine Christ Mother is within, always underneath the fear, the dogma, the rules, the rents, and the judgments, and the stress. You don't have to create her. She's buried alive, and she'll never die if you remember her. She's buried alive underneath the sick, siphoning idea Lucifer gave you that you are a sinner. Ron DeSantis might have let me down with his response to Israel, saying that we should send our boys to die there. He is a Zionist, yet his response to the lockdowns and the medical mafia's attempt to take over everything was quite impressive. He sued the Biden administration. He reclaimed some of our American rights. Perhaps only less impressive than Governor Kristi Noem, who never obeyed Fauci's insane rules in the lockdown and never locked down South Dakota. Then we have Senator Ron Johnson and Jim Jordan, and all courageous humans from these few to the anarchist leaders, Larkin Rose, David James Rodriguez, and the Freedom Angels I saw in Dr. Drew yesterday, from a retired English Supreme Court judge to van dwellers who speak on the corner. Thousands of us wouldn't shut up or back down and stop talking about freedom in 2020, 2021. And 2024 is going to be centered once again on the topic of freedom and slavery. If humans are really, if they're really the top dogs and the rulers of the earth, why do the rulers, dictators, kings, presidents, and emperors most often and always, nearly always, try to conspire to permanently enslave us for this, in this occurrence, digitally? Simple. They are big-time thieves who only got their powers, most of them, illegitimately through war, conquest, fears, threats, and coercion. Truly, if humans are the highest beings in the food chain of earth, they must prove it now, individually, collectively, by stopping ourselves from being food and energy to our false gods, Lucifer's snacks, our master tinkerers. Quite a tall order, but some of us will be able to achieve that. The human must have control over his own mind, body and soul, and etheric space even, thus, as she remembers and reattains relative harmlessness, extreme courage and resolve, with real respect to her earthly environment, quite the opposite of our UN, United Nations goals in her body, mind, soul, and space. She attains perfect rulership. Then and only then, truly, is the human in charge. Today is the real New Year. Happy New Year, folks. I love you. Resolve to take full responsibility for yourself this year. Remember the Serenity Prayer. Ho'oponopono, in Lakesh, and Namaste, family. Love you.